So this Indian logic is very theoretical, and this belongs to philosophy, Indian philosophy. This Indian classic philosophy. There are totally six schools of Indian philosophy. One is Samkhya philosophy, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Purva Mimamsa, Uttara Mimamsa. It is called as Vedanta philosophy. So these are the six schools of Indian philosophy. So this I have given in a very crisp manner. So you go through this later, and this is not much important. So I will move to our syllabus. So in our syllabus they have given us pramana. Okay, the pramanas means to gain the knowledge. It is etymology. Pra means outward or forth, that is away from the starting point. So note such keywords. This will be helpful in the exam. So why we want to study Indian logic means if you are seeing lot of things around you, and how you are grasping the knowledge through that your sight, or through how you are grasping the knowledge around your surroundings. So that is how the Indian logics work. So for example, by seeing directly, you are observing something and you are getting knowledge. That is one point of view. And another thing is you have learned something about that, and later you are recollecting it and you are getting the knowledge. So that is the second thing, like this. So these are why we are going to study about Indian logic. So pramanas, the pramanas means to gain the knowledge, to understand the knowledge, and the means of knowledge is understand through various means. As I said earlier, it can be viewing, or it can be listening, it can be through smell, like this. And another thing is through which one can have valid cognizance of world. Cognizance means knowledge. So valid knowledge about the world. So this is pramanas. So there are six pramanas. One is pratyaksh, anuman, then sabda, and upma, then arthapati, then anulabdhi. These are the six pramanas in our given in our syllabus. So we'll move to pratyaksh. Pratyaksh means perception. So how by direct contact with the knowledge. For example, you are seeing something, you are listening something, there are five senses. So through the senses, you are getting the knowledge. So direct contact with the knowledge, and whatever fill through the sense organ, that is pratyaks. For example, child observe the surrounding and gain the knowledge. When a child is born, the child is not getting knowledge. Okay, what the child is doing, it is observing the parents, it is observing the relatives, it is observing the others, and it is gaining knowledge. So that is one form of pratyaks. Okay, there are two types of pratyaks. One is laukika and another one is alaukika. So laukika, this laukika and alaukika, which was asked in the last year net exam. So they have asked like this laukika and alaukika related to which of the brahmanas, that is. So the answer is pratyaksh. So this was asked in the December 2019 question. So laukika means ordinary perception. That means you are directly in contact and you are getting the knowledge. That is laukika. Alaukika means extraordinary perception. Instead of having direct contact with the knowledge, you are having the sense organ does not come in contact with the object directly, but through unusual medium you are getting this thing. So this is alaukika. So there are two types. One is laukika, another one is alaukika. This is pratyaks, which means perception. Okay, you know what is in the perception. When you are seeing something, you will perceive. So we'll move to next. That is anuman. Okay, anuman means inference. So you have studied something about, for example, you have studied about the clouds. So through clouds means the rain will come. So if you are seeing the dark clouds in the sky means you will have the anuman like, okay, it is going to rain. Okay, this is Anuman. That is your inference in something from the previous experience. Okay, you have previous knowledge about something, so you are having inference. That is Anuman. Okay, that is hidden meanings. We can say inference means hidden meaning. So we are having some educated guess. For example, if you are seeing some smoke in the sky, means what will you Anuman? That means some fire is there, so smoke is coming. So like that you will Anuman. That is inference. Okay. Then third one is Shabd. Shabd means verbal testimony. If somebody is ordering you, you are obeying. That is Shabd. King ordering is subject. Okay. If king order is subject means then everyone has to obey. That is Shabd, verbal testimony. It shows the authoritativeness. So what this Shabd telling is authority of humans and Vedas. Both have authority, but Vedas has only infallible testimony. So this Shabd tell like Vedas never makes mistake, but a human can make mistake. But both can have the authority on each other. Okay. So this is Shabd. And the next is Upma. Upma means comparison. Okay, you are comparing one with other. For example, knowledge impacted by means of analogy. You have analogy in the syllabus. For example, if elephant leg means elephantiasis. So this is one of the, while seeing the leg which is very bigger means, then they are naming it as elephant leg. So that is elephantiasis. So you are comparing with it. So when you are seeing tiger means you are seeing cheetah. If you are seeing cat means, oh, cat is like a tiger. Those are belong to same family. That's how the analogy will work. Okay. So there are three types of upma. One is sadharmya, vaidharmya, and dharma matro. Okay, sadharmya means unknown object, and you have similarities. So I said this is the example. And comparing with dissimilarities. For example, disease diagnosis. So what doctor will do by asking you the symptoms, and they will check like whether your symptoms is matching with something or other. So this upma is mainly helpful for our doctors in diagnosing the diseases. Earlier in the ancient time, they have used this upma to find out comparing the dissimilarities. For example, if you take our recent example of corona, that means if you have a cold, you have fever, if you have five symptoms means then only corona. If you have three symptoms but you don't have the main symptom means then it is not corona. So this is comparing with the dissimilarities. That is one of the example I have told. Though another one is dharma matro, that is special character present in the animal. For example, hump. If you see hump means that can be a camel. So another hump means it can be a bullock cart. So through this you are comparing. Another one is elephant tusk. Okay, so which have tusk means elephant. So this is the upma. With the help of special character, you are comparing. Another is comparing with the dissimilarities. So it said disease diagnosis. So similarities. For example, there is no much relation between cat and the tiger. That is living forest. This is living home. But seeing the structure, you are comparing the tiger and this one cat, and the tiger belongs to cat family. Like this, you are comparing. So this is upma. And another one is arthapati. Arthapati means postulation. So knowledge arrived at through first pre-assumption and postulation. So suggestion or assumption of the existent fact, truth of something as a basis for reasoning. I will tell you the example of arthapati. If you are seeing seeing a fat man in a day, and he is not eating much in a day means, what will you think? Okay, this man might eat very much in the night. So you will think like that, you will assume like that. Okay, this is how the assumption will work. So another one example I will take. There are two boats which is starting at the same time, and if you came to know that second boat reached, that means what will you assume? Okay, if second boat is reached means the first boat can be reached earlier. Okay, if second boat reached means then it shows like the first boat is reached. So This is not true in all the cases, because if you take the first example, the fat man, there are some diseases because he might be fat. It is not like he is eating much in the night. So if you take the second boat, we cannot say if second boat reached, first boat reached before the second boat. We cannot say like that, because there is possibility like some accident might happen. So otherwise this first boat can be slow, second boat reached earlier. So these are the some possibility. So this is how the Arthapati works. So next is the final one is Anuplabdhi. Anuplabdhi means non-perception, that is non-apprehension, we can say. For example, absence of something can lead to knowledge. So you might have experience in your classes, like if some girl is if some girl or teacher is there who always have a flower in her hair, means what will you do? So if the flower smell comes, means okay, this teacher has arrived in a class, like this one example. Other one is if somebody is wearing anklet, means the sound, through the sound you will notice that okay, this girl is wearing anklet, so this girl has come. So if some flower fragrance is absent, means what you will think, means okay, the girl or teacher is absent. So you will think like that, because there is no fragrance smell in the class at the time. Okay, so you will think like that. Another one is if there is no accident, means oh, you will think like that. So absence of something can lead to knowledge. This can be true or cannot be true, because there is she might not get flower that day. Another one is she might remove anklet and kept in home. So there are two possibilities. Okay, are you getting me? Are you there? Shall we continue with the session? Some four more slides. Are you sleeping? No response. Are you getting with the examples? Do you have any doubt regarding this? So yes, we'll move to next. So this is Anumana. So as I said earlier, this is in our syllabus. So Anumana, I already told you, this is inference. So you, for inferring something with the knowledge you are acquired previously. So the structure is in our syllabus. So this is the structure. For the Paksha, Hetu, Sadhya. These are the three terms. If you take Greek, means there will be three terms in the Greek: minor term, middle term, and major term. So some mistake in this one, major term. Okay, so I am seeing a hill is fiery because the hill is smoky. Here this is because. Okay, so you are from here, you are seeing the hill is fiery because the hill is smoky. So you are assuming hill is fiery because the hill is smoky. So what you are observing here is there is some smoke coming from a hill. Okay. So you are observing this. So through your previous knowledge, for example, you are seeing the smoke in the kitchen. For this is not like applicable to gas. So you are seeing the smoke in the kitchen while you are using the firewoods. So through that you are assuming like, so okay, because of fire the hill is smoky. So this is one. So Anumana means after knowledge. So you are already having knowledge. So this is after knowledge. Okay. So I will explain you. So if you take this one, means the minor term means mountain. Okay. Hill or mountain is a minor term. So middle term is smoke. Okay, smoke. And the major term is fire. So because of fire only the smoke has come. So this is the middle term, minor term, middle term, and major term. Okay. So there is a relation between Hetu and Sadhya, that is called as Vyapti. Without there should be invariable relation between Hetu and Sadhya. Okay. there should be invariable relation between, because there is some relation between smoke and fire. Without smoke there is no fire, without fire there is no smoke. So there is invariable relation between hetu and sadhya. Okay, that is vyapti. Another thing is the relation between paksha and hetu is called as paksha dharmata, and the relation between minor term and major term is called as paramsha. So this is how the structure works. So major thing is paksha, hetu and sadhya. Okay, are you getting me? Fine. We'll move to next. Do you have any doubt? So I am moving to next slide. So vyapti. So if you take, so vyapti, as I told you, there is some invariable relation between hetu and sadhya, that is called as vyapti. Okay, so there is invariable relation between hetu and sadhya, that means fire and smoke. That invariable relation is called as vyapti, that is state of pervasion, that is correlation between two facts. Two facts means fire and smoke. So the pervaded and other pervades. Smoke is pervaded by fire. Okay, so there are two types: samay vyapti, asav vyapti. So these are in our syllabus: structure of vyapti and types of vyapti. So samay vyapti means vyapti between terms of equal extension. That is, nameable is knowable and knowable is nameable. Okay, there should be vice versa relationship. But if you take vyapti between terms of unequal extension, that is, infer one term from another but not vice versa. These are different types. One can do vice versa, another cannot do vice versa. For example, if you take this, nameable is knowable means knowable is not nameable. So that is asav vyapti. So this is not much important. So you just know what are the terms here. So what you understand what is samay vyapti, asav vyapti. There are possibility like asking question like this. So this one vyapti, you know what is vyapti. So I'll move to next. So the anumana. So this is the main thing. There are different kinds of anumana. One is purvata anumana. So reasoning between cause and to effect, from cause to effect. For example, cloud leads to rain, seed leads to plant. So what is the cause here? Cloud. Because of cloud, rain is coming. So what is the cause here? Because of seed, the plant is germinating. So this is how the it works. Reasoning obtained from cause to effect. That is, clouds leads to rain, seed leads to plant. This is purvata anumana. Second one is Sheshvata Anumana. Sheshvata Anumana means reasoning obtained from effect to cause. For example, if you are seeing the fruit in the tree, means how the fruit comes, you are inferring the seed. Because of seed, the fruit is coming. So that is from effect to cause. Okay, if you are seeing the rain, means how you are interpreting. So through the dark clouds, the rain has come. So this is how you are obtaining the reasoning. So anumana means that is previous knowledge. So how you are obtaining the previous knowledge, that is reasoning obtained from cause to effect, effect to cause. These are the two types. And the third one is samanyoda drushta anumana. That means inferential knowledge obtained through generalization of particular matter. You are generalizing of particular matter means that is third type. If you take generalization of particular matter, for example, if you are cooking a food, means you will take some two rice and you check whether it has boiled or not. So by checking this two, you will go to generalization. So okay, the food has boiled, so we can have food like that. That is one type. Okay, next is Vardha Anumana, the inference of meanings from one's own perspective observation. So there are two different perspectives. It can be of anything. For example, if you take we'll take some example of fire itself. So uh, what I'm telling is, I asked you to roam around the mountain. So you are seeing some uh, fire which is start to emerge. Okay, there are some fire which is in the some of the places in the mountain. So you are roaming around the mountain. Okay, so you are seeing the fumes and the fire while you are circumnavigating the mountain. When you come out after some time, when you are seeing the fumes means, what will you say? Okay, this place have fire, so this started to fume. So automatically what you comes into mind means, okay, these are the places I saw fire, so because of that it is fuming. So like that you will come into conclusion. So inference of meaning from one's own perspective of observation, that is further anumana. And the final one is Parata Anumana. That means there are five things: Pradigna, Hetu, Udarana, Upanaya, and Nigamana. I have some mistake, I think. I will correct it. So Upanaya means, Upanaya means application, Nigamana means conclusion. So I will make this correction. So these are types of Anumana. So we already seen Hetu, on which ground. Udarana means illustration, how you are explaining the Anumana. For example, you are telling, I told you example now, fire and smoke. This is how you are coming with the example. And application means where you are applying the fire. For example, I saw fire in the kitchen. So I am telling like the smoke is in the mountain. So there is a possibility like smoke is because of fire. So you are telling like that. So Nigamana means conclusion. What you are concluding is, because of smoke the fire has come. Pradigya means you are telling mountain is having smoke, so there might be fire. So this is you are telling. And the ground, Hetu means, then Udarana means illustration. Your example, explaining with examples. Then this one application, you are applying the same case in different thing. Like I saw this fire here, I saw this fire here, like this application. And finally the conclusion is, you are coming to conclusion is, because of the fire the smoke has come. This is how it works. So the finally we'll have Hedva Bhasha. This is our last slide for this day. Hedva Bhasha means fallacies of inference. For example, as I told you, there might be some wrong. For example, we cannot say whatever you are inferred is correct, because there is some other possibility also there. As I told you earlier, like you are seeing a fat boy who doesn't eat anything in the day, and you will get into conclusion like he might eat in the night time. But there is another possibility is that because of some disease he might be fat. That is one possibility. As I already told you, under the ship one, there is possibility of accident, or the driver might drive the ship very slowly. There is another thing. So that is what we can say, it is a mistake or false inference or deception. We can say deception means somebody cheat. Okay, so I will tell the example. Any error in relation between Hetu and Sadhya. Okay, which is Hetu? So Hetu and Sadhya. If you have any relation between Hetu and Sadhya, what is called a relationship between Hetu and Sadhya? What is the relationship between Hetu and Sadhya? Yeah, anybody tell me? So we have seen some relationship between Hetu and Sadhya. What is that? We have seen it in descriptive manner. So what is the relationship between Hetu and Sadhya? Vyapti, yeah, you are right. So if there is any error in the Vyapti means it leads to Hedvabhasa. So this is in our syllabus, that is called as inference. Okay. So there are 5 types of Hedvabhasa, and I will start with the first one. Shavya Bikara. Shavya Bikara means only fire but no smoke. For example, now we are seeing the gas. So we are seeing the fire. Gas stove, only fire is there, but there is no smoke. Another one example is if you see the red hot iron, only fire will be there. There will not be any smoke in there. So that is also one of the examples. So that such deception is called as Savya Bikara, because you will have knowledge like if any fire comes means there will be smoke will be coming. So if you see the gas stove means only fire will be there, but there is no smoke. So that is one kind of deception. Another one is Viruddha. Viruddha means contradictory. How it contradicts between one and two? Because somebody is telling fire in lake because there is water in it. If somebody tell like that, will you agree this? You won't agree this because you know water and fire cannot be together. So that kind of inference is called as Viruddha. Okay, Viruddha. And the third is Asiddha. So Asiddha means not yet proved. Okay. If somebody is telling some smoke comes from gas stove means you will not believe because you have seen every day like gas stove doesn't have any smoke, only fire will come. For same example is if red hot iron has smoke, so what will you do? Because it is fiery, you are somebody is telling like because some fire is there, so red hot iron has smoke, but it is not proved yet. So that is called as Asiddha. And next one is Shatpratikvaksha, that means having an antithesis, two perspective of different persons. So we'll come into the same example. If some fire in the mountain, you are seeing the smoke from a two distance. So there are two persons are here. Okay, one person is telling because of fire the smoke is coming. That is one possibility. The another person is telling no, this mountain is made of stone, so there is no possibility of coming of fire from this. So there is some other possibility of smoke has to come. So like that, there are two possibility. Okay, some person is telling like okay, so you are getting this example right. There are two perception between the person and having the both are opposite to each other. So this is our antithesis, two perspective of different persons. Okay, that lead to defect. We don't know whether it is true or not, which one is true, which one is false. Only if you go and observe. So if you go and observe means it will comes under five senses. So it will comes under pratyaksh. Okay. If you take other thing that is second one anubhava. Anumana comes from not from direct contact, that is indirect. So if you are going directly and seeing, that is pratyaksh. So definitely you can have avoid the inferential defect in that case. Okay, and the final is Batita. Batita means opposed by another stronger Pramana. That is Pramana means what you know, that is knowledge, valid knowledge. Okay, so if somebody is telling fire is cold means what will you do? No, that is not at all possible, because what will you say? I know fire is hot because I have studied this, I have know this, I have experienced this. So you will tell like that. So opposed by another strong pramana, that is batita. So these are the inferential defects. Okay, these are the inferential defects that will be happening in the relation between Hetu and Sadhya. Okay. So I'll go for a quick recall. So this is Hedvabhasa. Hedvabhasa means deception, or we get that is false inference, fallacies of inference. This can be intentional or can be unintentional also. So this is kind of anumana. We have seen about Purvada Anumana, Sheshvada Anumana, Samanyoda Drushta Anumana, Swarda Anumana, and these are Parata Anumana, and these are the five terms in the Parata Anumana. And if we go to next, Vyapti, the state of pervasion, that is correlation between two facts. We have already seen smoke is pervaded by the fire. Only because of smoke you are coming into the conclusion is fire. So there are two types, Samavipyati, Asavipyati, Vyapti. So Anumana, this is a structure, and you will have three terms, Paksha, Hetu and Sadhya, minor term, middle term and major term. So mountain, smoke and fire. So this relationship Vyapti, and this relationship is Paksha Dharmata, and the relationship between Paksha and Sadhya, that is Paramsha. Okay. So we'll see this one. Pratyaksh. So Pramana means to understand the knowledge or have a valid knowledge. That is Pramana. And there are 6 types. So Pratyaksh means direct contact with the knowledge, whatever fell through our sense organ. So there are 2 types, Laukika, Alaukika. And the next one is Anumana. Anumana means you are having previous knowledge about something and you are inferencing something. So dark clouds strain. So that is one example. Sabda means verbal testimony. As I told you, authoritativeness. So authority of humans and Vedas. So Vedas is only infallible according to Sabda. Okay, then Upma. Upma means knowledge imparted by means of analogy. So you are comparing with one another. There are 3 types. And Arthapati means postulation. So I already told you these examples. And finally, Anulabdhi. Anulabdhi means non-apprehension. That is absence of something can lead to knowledge. So we are done with our today's class. So how's the today's class? Is that useful? Yeah, you can switch on your mic and give me some feedback.